Good morning, everybody. Today, our topic for music is about music of the 20th century, a movement that we call Impressionism. These are the objectives. 1. Describe a distinctive musical elements of given pieces in 20th century styles. 2. Explain the performance practice like setting, compositions, role of the composers and performers, and the audience of the 20th century music. 3. Relate 20th century music to other forms and media during the same time period. 4. Perform music sample from the 20th century. 5. Evaluate music and music performances using guided rubrics. What music do you usually listen to? Are you into rock, pop, hip-hop, K-pop, or whatever music? I'm sure that you enjoy listening to these genres of music. Like any other products of modernization, these songs have gone through several phases of development. Come, let's go down the memory lane and discover the roots of today's music. The styles of modern songs can be traced back from the 20th century. The innovative and experimental styles of the 20th century music are the influences of the genius composers such as Claude Debussy, Maurice Ravel, Arnold Schoenberg, Bela Bartok, Igor Stravinsky, Sergei Prokofiev, and George Gershwin. Coming from different nations such as France, Austria, Hungary, Russia, and the United States, these composers clearly reflect the growing globalization of musical styles in the 20th century. Impressionism, from the word impress. As the world entered the 20th century, a new era in music was introduced, and Impressionism was one of the earliest musical forms that paved way to this modern era. Impressionism is a French movement in the late 19th and early 20th century. The sentimental melodies and dramatic emotionalism of the preceding Romantic period, whose themes and melody are easy to recognize and enjoy, were being replaced in favor of moods and impression. Ibig sabihin, ang Impressionism ay kabaligtaran na Romantic period. There are no predictable melodies. No, not easy to recognize and enjoy. So, yun ang Impressionism. The features of Impressionism are as follows. The use of color, or in musical terms, the timbre, which can be achieved through orchestration, harmonic usage, texture, etc. Timbre is known as the tone color or tone quality. Next, new combinations of extended chords, harmonies, whole tone, chromatic scales, and pentatonic scales emerge. So, meaning hindi siya ganun kasarap pakinggan. May pagkasintonado. Impressionism was an attempt not to depict reality, but merely to suggest it. So, hindi malinaw ang melodiya. Hindi mo malaman kung ano ang tono. Now, Claude Debussy, 1862 to 1918, one of the most influential and leading composers of the 20th century. He was the principal exponent of the Impressionist movement and the inspiration for other Impressionist composers. He reformed the course of musical development by eradicating traditional rules and conventions into a new language of possibilities in harmony, rhythm, form, texture, and color. He was born on August 22, 1862 in a little town called Germain-en-Laye in France. Correction, I'm not so sure about the pronunciation of the town. He was known as the father of the modern school of composition and made his impact in the style of the later 20th century composer like Igor Stravinsky. Debussy's mature creative period was exemplified by the following works. So ito yung mga ginawa niya. These are just a few. So string quartet, La Mer, a highly imaginative and atmospheric symphony work for orchestra about the sea. So kaya nga suggestive lang. Para kang nasa dagat habang nakikinig. Okay, Premier Arabesque, and the famous Clair de Lune, which means moonlight. Most of his close friends were painters and poets who significantly influenced his works. On March 25, 1918, he died of cancer at the height of the First World War in Paris. So, cancer siya ang kanya kinamatay. Okay, the most remarkable composition of Debussy is Clair de Lune. Have you watched the Hollywood movie Twilight? Okay, it's the background music where Belle and Edward were together. Nagmo-moment sila. Yun yung background music nila ay yung Clair de Lune. Okay. Now, here is an example of Clair de Lune. While listening to the track, answer the following guided questions. What musical instruments is being played? How did the music affect your moods or feelings in terms of the general atmosphere of the piece? So that is Impressionism, and thank you for watching.